Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Tom Green. We start at 4 o'clock with the tragic news coming out of Wisconsin, a deadly school shooting, in this the last week before Christmas break.
Police say a teenager opened fire inside a private Christian school, killing 2 people. It happened at Abundant Life Christian School just before 10 a.m. our time. Police say a teacher and a student were killed. 6 other students were injured. 2 of them are in critical condition. The shooter, a 17-year-old female student at the school, is also dead. The timing during the holidays brings back many sad memories. Last Thursday marked 12 years since the Sandy Hook shooting. We have much more in this story coming up later in the hour. A warning for holiday shoppers looking for any last-minute gifts in Cherry Creek. Be careful where you park.
Yeah, Steve on your side has been hearing from several people who've parked on Clayton Street at what they thought were Denver parking meters. They only found out it wasn't a Denver parking meter when they got a ticket for nearly 3 times what the city charges for parking tickets. So 9 News consumer investigator Steve Stager joins us now from Clayton Street tonight. Steve, it looks a lot like a Denver parking meter.
Yeah, I thought the same, Tom. I actually asked the city about this block of Clayton. They told me that this is actually considered a private street. It's private property. The meter sure looks like a Denver parking meter. I've never seen one able to do this before, but you could turn it to the side. See that red sticker there? That's what tells you you're parking on private property.
Cherry Creek's tough. You find a spot on the curb there, you're pretty excited.
Jason McLaren was pumped when he found a spot right in front of North in Cherry Creek, where he and his wife were planning to have dinner. The glow wore off when he found a ticket on the window when they walked out.
Definitely confusing because it was from Laz Parking. And I was like, well, I'm in the city of Denver at a parking meter.
He contacted the company collecting on that ticket, Parking Revenue Recovery Service, PRRS.
You must be mistaken. And they said, no, you parked in one of our lots and you owe us money.
But Jason wasn't parked in a lot. He was at a meter. And Jason's wife has a disabled parking placard. The city of Denver allows people with disabilities to park for free at parking meters.
When I sent some paperwork just saying, hey, you're mistaken, this is what happened, and they said, oh, we disagree, but we'll reduce it to 15.
Strange. The meters on this block of Clayton and Cherry Creek, they all appear to be Denver parking meters.
I mean, it looks just like any other meter anywhere in the city.
They're even the same model. But the city tells us this block is actually private property, a private street.
Have you ever seen a sign that says not a public street or something like that?
I have not.
Yeah.
Until today. See that red sticker facing the curb on these meters? It says that you're parking on private property, enforced by PRRS. Important information, because if you overstay your welcome at a parking meter here, it'll cost you $92, $97 when you add in the $5 convenience fee to PRRS. That's nearly 3 times what the city charges for an expired meter ticket, $35. The meter where Jason parked, that sticker was practically non-existent.
And I don't know if the city should tell us that it's not their street, or the people that own the street, or the Laz company that's being paid to enforce it. I didn't know. I doubt many people know that that's a private street right in the center of Denver.
Heard back from PRRS this afternoon. They told us that they did not install these meters here. They were here. They're just the compliance portion of all of this. Haven't heard back from Laz, but PRRS told me that Laz didn't install these meters either. It's just interesting around here because these meters are a little old. They're a little, you can tell they've kind of been through some stuff. I tried to put my credit card in here to pay. The credit card got stuck in here, and the valet across the street actually said, oh, we've got a pair of tweezers that we use to get credit cards out of here. I had to go across the street to a bar and trade in $2 for 4 quarters just to be able to feed the meter here. But just something to know about if you're parking in Cherry Creek this holiday season. I'm Steve Stager, Steve on your side, 9 News.
I will say this, I mean, if you're going to be hit for a $100 parking ticket, at least the meters spin. I mean, that's kind of a cool feature.
Yeah, you have to pay extra for that in some circumstances, Tom. I've never seen one do this before, but sure enough, there you go.
Well, can you park in one spot and then spin it to the other guy gets the ticket?
You could. Potentially. Maybe. You notice, by the way, like you got the one sticker here, and then maybe this was somebody who was angry after they got the $92 ticket. They came and peeled this one off, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to leave it the way that it was so nobody else gets in trouble.
Or maybe most people can't spin it, and you're Clark Kent. And you have superhuman
It could be.
strength. It's,
Brute. Look at me, Tom.
I know.
You know it.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steve, good warning for people, especially there and maybe in other places on Clayton Street. Thanks, Steve Staker. Beautiful day to get a ticket like that.
Oh boy, that just makes your day, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Blue
It's a
skies,
beautiful
warm
day.
temperatures,
I mean,
mild mid-December
You
day.
could be out there in a howling blizzard trying to find quarters.
No,
Who has
or
quarters
getting your credit
anymore?
card out.
And getting your credit card stuck in there.
No problem. Kathy, how much longer are we going to stay like this? I mean, it's nice, but it's not what we expect this time of year.
Your fingers won't freeze to the tweezers pulling out the credit card for days.
Right.
You're good. And of course, Steve's our Clark Kent. He can do so many things. If he could figure out how to make that meter produce a nice beverage and maybe a little snack, you're going to be out there for a while. That would be really nice. Hey, a lot of people on the road already. The evening drive well underway, or perhaps you're maybe just doing a little holiday shopping or getting ready for the holidays coming up. Great weather for that. Little less wind today. Temperatures comfortable, seasonal, mid-40s in downtown Denver and out across the Eastern Plains. A little colder at Lyman with 38 degrees there. I'm watching the wind because over some of the elevated terrain, we're still seeing gusts of 30 and 40 miles per hour. This is because there's a storm approaching, and that Pacific storm is going to generate some gusty winds out of the south. But that will lend itself to a warming trend for the metro area, a little light wind and snow coming into the mountains, and thinking about the holidays next week and the forecast for that. A lot of people come to Colorado to go skiing over Christmas, and this Pacific storm may deliver, bringing some scattered snow showers to freshen up the snowpack just in time for the holiday. So as we look at what's happening, we'll see some snow develop in the mountains tomorrow, and then tomorrow night around 5-6 o'clock, an isolated snow shower possible. And then it's out of here. So we'll be watching that pretty closely. This evening, it's calm, it's quiet, temperatures in the mid-40s, dropping like a rock at 4:34 when the sun goes down. So much more on the extended forecast and mountain snow outlook coming up.
After seeing so much success in other neighborhoods, the city's free rideshare program has now expanded to the west side. This service started in Montbello back in 2021, and then it expanded to Gateway and the Globeville, Elyria, Swansea neighborhood. So far, they've done about 250,000 rides. Those with the city say bringing this program to the west side was always the goal. The service is kind of like Uber. People in Villa Park and portions of Sun Valley, Westwood, Ruby Hill, and Valverde can now be able to request a ride in the neighborhood for free. Those in Valverde believe that this is going to make a big difference on the community.
Because there's no grocery store in this neighborhood, so any direction that you point to, it's at least a mile plus to get to a grocery store. So this is really going to help the community.
Begley says there are no restrictions on where people can request as long as it's in the designated zone that they have mapped out. And he says a lot of people use this service to get to rec centers, commuter rail stations, grocery stores, and some even take it to school.
Of course, many Coloradans spend the holidays with loved ones, but doctors say the end of the year holidays can also be a dangerous time, with emergency room visits spiking around this time of year, largely due to viruses and traumatic injuries. That includes things like falling while decorating or burn injuries, and of course, slipping on ice. Doctors also warn about injuries from toys given to kids during the holidays. Other holiday-related injuries include toys that kids may play with. So last year, around 154,000 kids, 12 or younger, were treated in emergency rooms due to toy-related injuries.
Typically what we recommend for all of these types of kiddos is to be under close parental supervision, especially when playing with these new toys, and to be using protective gear such as helmets and pads when they're using new toys such as scooters and bikes.
Basic precautions include making sure you're safely heating your home and preparing food safely as well, and making smart travel plans as well to avoid the ER.